So the body was put aside earlier after finishing most of the main details off. The interior was finished in the last video, and now I obviously need something to put those on together. So I'm starting off with the chassis and just painting everything. First a couple of coats of primer on all the various small parts and pieces, then moving on to applying a couple of different colors. For most of the suspension components I'm just gonna go with some jet black, nothing fancy and nothing flashy, as there's nothing to be seen and the stock car doesn't really have any colored fancy springs either, so black it is for these parts. Since it is a John Cooper Works, it also has a pretty nice sounding exhaust, and that is made out of a pretty fancy material. I'm just gonna go with some Alclad dark aluminum, and then later gonna weather it a bit with some burnt iron from Alclad as well. For the wheels I decided to go with some Alclad metal paints as well. I'm just going to use a aluminum and that suits it really well, looks exactly like the originals. As mentioned earlier, I'm going to weather the exhaust bit with some burnt iron, just going to highlight a couple areas and make it look slightly used. All parts and pieces now have received their main color, so I can move on to detailing. First of all, I'm just going to add a load of black and silver to the chassis, as all the other components will be glued on top of that. So first get the base done and then move on to the other pieces. With the black now out of the way, it's time to detail it up with some silver. I painted the disc brakes in the aluminum color as well, and then decided to go with the calipers for some regular silver, which I will weather a bit to make them look a bit more different than the actual discs are, and have them stand out a bit more. Just to give a couple of parts some more depth in a couple of places, and also some other parts to give it a bit more weathering, I'm just going to go over it with a light touch of the Tamiya Panline accent color. Pretty much all the detailing and weathering now has been done, so I can move on to assembling. Since these parts are all painted, I'm just going to assemble it with some regular super glue. With the wheels now on, I only needed to add a couple of decals and the chassis is finished.